sports podcast with the youngest, most daring, intrepid, gutsy, fearless host on the planet. Get ready for Jake's Takes. Here's Jake.
I am Jake, and welcome back to Jake's Takes, where I get your favorite athletes and stars to open up and speak what's really on their minds. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because you won't believe the guests I have lined up. Get ready, sports fans, because Jake's Takes is the show you've been waiting for. Today, we are taking our podcast to the next level. The hype for today's guest is legit. He has 30 years of experience in sports management, including football, basketball, hockey, and baseball, and was part of 4 championship teams. He also served as president of the NBA's Phoenix Suns G League team. It is a real honor to welcome to Jake's Takes the president and CEO of Edmonton's football team in the CFL, Mr. Presson.
Thanks, Jake. Thanks for having me today.
So before we start, I must ask, do you prefer I call you Mr. Presson, or maybe Chris, or maybe Mr. President?
I prefer you call me Chris. I already consider you a friend, so let's go with Chris.
Okay, great, Chris. That's awesome. It really means a lot that such a busy president like yourself is taking the time to chat sports with me. So thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
I know your time is very valuable, so let's get at it. I come from a family of 6 kids. It's a busy house, and I realized that my parents have a very challenging time making decisions for the family because their decisions always impact us kids differently. At times, some kids are happy with the decision, while other kids are upset. As a president of a football organization, how do you balance all the people your decisions will affect, like the players, the coaching staff, and the business side of the organization?
Well, what a great question. And, it's challenging. My wife and I, from a family perspective, have 3 teenage daughters, so we understand it from a family perspective and how sometimes some of our kids are happy with the decision and sometimes, 1 or 2 of them may not be. It's the same in business. We understand when we make a decision of substance that a lot of people will be happy about it and a lot of people won't. We also understand as we progress through those decisions, more challenges will come, needing and producing more of a reason to make further decisions. And some people will be happy with those and others will not. What we try to do is just to remain steady, try not to get over-animated about reaction one way or the other, good, bad, or indifferent. And that keeps us grounded in all we do and helps put out a good product, a good process around major decisions that we have to make, like the change of our name.
You know, Chris, it reminds me that I'm a huge Blue Jays fan. And I remember a few years ago, the Jays hired a new president, Mark Shapiro. And as I recall, he had some tough decisions to make right away. He got rid of some very popular players, and the fans were really mad. Does the pressure from the fans ever affect your decisions?
You always hear the pressure from the fans, and you always notice that you do always feel it, but you have to make a decision that's going to benefit the business in the long run. And in all cases, the fans are a part of that business. You can say all you want that maybe they're not, but in reality, they are. And particularly with us as a community-owned team, the community truly does own our team. So everything that we do and every decision we make is around how we can impact the fan long term. When I first got here, we had to move on from our head coach and some assistant coaches as well. And again, that was just the beginning of the challenges. Little did we know that the pandemic was coming as well, which triggered a whole nother set of even more challenging decisions. So as we work our way through it, we do it with the best interest of the community in mind, the team in mind, and ultimately the fans in mind as well.
Chris, I love football. I watch it every week. But like many other kids in Canada, I follow the NFL much more closely than the CFL. And I've been thinking a lot about it, and it bothers me. So hear me out. Why don't I follow the CFL more? As a president of a franchise in the CFL, I want to know what you can do to get me interested, the young sports fan, to love the CFL.
Well, I think we need to appeal clearly to your age demographic, and you sound like you know the CFL well also. And in that day and age, in this day and age, we have a generational gap between who we attract to the games and who we would like to attract in addition to those. And that demo we're missing is targeted toward you. We need to do a better job of being more digitally enhanced in the future in terms of what we do to make the activations around the game more pointed toward someone of your age. We also need to provide more opportunity in game for you to have some social play, some social interaction, and then we need to find ways to get you more engaged in the game. And when I look at not your age necessarily, but your dad's age, you know, it's coming soon. The technology already exists where you'll be able to bet during games as to whether or not Trevor Harris is going to hand the ball off on the next play or if he's going to throw it. And while a lot of people don't believe in gambling and we wouldn't push it, it's another mechanism for people to be actively involved in the game, and that's what people your age are missing and looking for, in my opinion.
I love that idea, but can I share with you my idea to get me more interested?
Of course.
So through some connections, I became very friendly with a hockey player who played in Europe. Stellar guy. I love hockey, but I only watched the NHL. But with this new friendship with this player, I started watching his games online. I think this is the answer for the CFL. Kids love a connection with athletes. We just love it. So when I started to connect with him, I wanted to follow his games. Here's the point, Chris. Developing personal relationships between players and kids will increase kids' interest in the CFL. Does this make any sense to you, Chris? And is it possible?
It does make sense. Yeah, it does make sense, and it is possible. I think it's one of the advantages we have, Jake, in our league is our players are much more accessible than just about any other league at our level that you'll find, and I know you understand that. But I think where we've missed is we haven't done a very good job of developing that deep connectivity. And as you said, once you have that relationship, you're more apt to not just watch and listen and come to games, but to buy that player's gear and to be more aligned with the brand.
I'd love to help you with that. Okay, so this question you might not be able to answer, but I will ask it anyways. What was the hardest decision you had to make since becoming president of the Edmonton football team?
Wow, there are many of them, actually. Number one was moving on from our former head coach, who I like as an individual. I think he's a great human being. Number two would be discontinuing the use of our former name. And number three would be having to downsize my staff due to the pandemic.
Okay, Chris. You know what time it is on Jake's Takes? It's game time! As always, we will be playing Rapid Fire. I will ask you a bunch of short questions, and you answer them as quick as you can. Deal?
Deal.
Let's go. If by some chance you were responsible for naming a football team, what would you name it? Just kidding, just kidding. Just kidding. Worth a try, though. Let's continue for real. Salt or pepper?
Salt.
Big dogs or small dogs?
I have a small dog, but I prefer big dogs.
How many cups of coffee do you drink a day?
One big one.
Do you currently own a stuffed animal?
I don't, but my girls do.
Polka dots or stripes?
Stripes.
Attics or basements?
Basements.
Hardest opponent in the CFL?
Winnipeg.
Coke or Pepsi?
I have to stay away from that, but I would say I guess I'll go there. Coke.
Singing or dancing?
Neither, but if I have to choose one, I would say singing.
Dress shoes or running shoes?
Dress shoes.
Pool or ocean?
Ocean.
Touchdown, Chris Presson! You got skills, my friend. You just rocked that rapid fire.
Thanks, Jake. I did the best I could. Your questions were great, and I appreciate you letting me be on today.
Be honest. Tell me the last time you had that much fun.
Wow, that's a good question. It's been quite a while, so let's just go with 2 months on that answer.
We good to continue the interview with just a few more quick questions?
Absolutely.
Okay, Chris. Chris, because you're president, do you try and stay away from becoming friends with the players in case you might have to make a tough decision about their future?
No, I don't. I'm a genuine person. My relationships that I have with anyone are genuine, and it's no different with the players. I don't think about when I'm visiting with a player in my office about what the future may bring. I'm in the here and now. I devote myself to them, and they certainly devote themselves to me.
Chris, let me ask you, is sports just a business in your eyes, or is it your passion as well?
It's my passion, and that's why I chose this career path, is because I love sports. I love every sport, very much like you, Jake. I watch every sport. I participated in every sport, and I wanted to build my career around that. And fortunately, I was given the opportunity to do that right out of university, and I've been able to stick with it ever since.
Well, you're a lucky man, Chris. It would be my dream to be involved in sports every single day.
Well, as I tell my kids, you can literally do anything you put your mind to, and I know it sounds very cliche-ish, but it is true. When you want to do something and you can build a purpose around it and have the passion for it, dreams do come true, my friend.
I hope so. Last question. Your team has been around for many years. It has a really rich history. How do you feel the upcoming name change will impact the support of your players and fans?
I think we'll do a good job with that. I think long term the fans are fans of the Edmonton football team, and certainly our name, our previous name, they were fans of as well, but they make the team what it is. They make the name what it is. They make the players stars, and certainly we'll continue to acknowledge our past with a nod to the past, but we're excited about the future as well.
Chris, I will always support the Edmonton organization, as you all have treated me with open arms and gave me this memorable opportunity. Wishing your team the best of luck, and good luck with the new name change.
Thanks, Jake.
Hey guys, you are never gonna believe the guest I got for next week. Make sure to subscribe so you can find out.